This is Joyful Artist Musings, and I'm Jessie Burgart. Welcome. Today is March 22nd, 2024. The audio time for this is going to be about 10 minutes or so, and there's a game involved. So if you want, you can play the game, or if you'd like, you can read the newsletter part and do it on your own time, of course. But I'll go through the game while we're here together. So welcome. Yes, this one is a little bit different. This week, joy, finding your legacy through a game. Lesson, bravery is painfully earned. Art, a strange analogy, part 2. Joy. So here's the game part. And this is kind of a draft of a game. So I really, really hope that you'll try it and that you'll give me feedback. If it doesn't work, will you tell me why it doesn't work for you? And if it does work, I really want to hear that too, because I'm aiming for some very specific goals here with this game. So here we go. To find hidden legacy, a gamified way to learn more about your inner person legacy. I'm going to give you a series of questions and ask you to set a timer. Use a journal and pen or a digital document. I like the tactile experience of journal and pen, but it is slower, of course. The questions I'm going to give you are meant to give you a key to a personal list of moments that reflect the inner you, to unlock a door to your secret weapons that defeat your enemies, and to enter that place of legacy that aligns with your vision and a broader horizon with greatest possibilities. Here's how we play. Set a 3-minute timer. Go through the series of questions. You might hear my dogs. Go through the series of questions, resetting the timer each time. At the end, take another 3 minutes to write down your legacy. So it's that simple. It might help if after you read the questions and prompts to take the first 10 to 15 seconds of that 3 minutes and just close your eyes. Just absorb the question, the prompt, before you start writing. I have no idea what just fell off of my desk. That's okay though. Here we go. Ready? Let's go. Number 1. And if you want to pause this and play while we're together now, go for it. Every question, pause it and set the timer for 3 minutes and then come back. So question 1. The first one is easy. Take 3 minutes to write down these things. Your name, one positive word to describe you, and why you describe yourself that way. And when you come back, reset the timer and we'll continue. Number 2, while using that positive characteristic, what favorite childhood memory shows up? If no clear exact memory pops up, no problem. Instead, describe whatever comes to your mind, even if it's abstract. Question 3, was there a time while using that positive characteristic that you turned a bad situation into a good one, or help pivot the circumstance so that something noble came about? If so, write that down enough to recall it again later. If nothing comes to mind, then just move on. Question 4. For this one, without writing yet, recall a time you felt a feeling of lightness, as if the world was bright and you were floating. What was happening at that hour, day, month, or season of life? And now, write down what it looks like. What objects or people or colors do you see? What adjectives, words describe that moment? Can you write a list? Question 5. Now imagine yourself sitting cross-legged on a small cloud above the earth. The air is clean. You're fully healthy, fully happy, fully loved. If you flew off the cloud, where would you choose to go? And what about that place calls to you? How does it feel there? Number 6, considering the above chosen place to fly to, is there an element in your life that's missing that feeling? If so, how can you reincorporate that back into your daily life? And number 7, take the last 3 minutes to review your answers, then write a list of descriptive words. Try to encapsulate the feeling you mentioned above, and then write out one sentence about your legacy. That's it. You win. This legacy can help you pick out the drawings or paintings that you'd like to make. Let your imagination run wild, be open to positivity like never before. Are there already photographs that display this narrative? Or do you want to paint from memory? Or perhaps go to a location and draw what you see? Legacy art is a way to honor the valor and beauty within you. Lesson: bravery is painfully earned. Here's the story. Every weekend, my sister and I visited my father. He was the regional director of Boy Scouts of America in Southwest Virginia. Inevitably, all of our adventures were also with Boy Scouts. We did canoeing, camping, high ropes courses, whitewater rafting, etc. But this weekend was just a little different. It was him, my sister, and me. We went caving, and mind you, this was in the late 80s, early 90s, so our flashlights were the size of lunch boxes. And I sketched out a little oil lamp here, but anyhow. Caving is an interesting sport. You lose track of time. The temperature is cold, but consistent. You find yourself wedged in these tight little muddy spots, only to come out the other end to this huge cavern. If you're not with somebody who knows what they're doing, just don't do it. Luckily, happily, my dad had done this many, many times. This is about bravery, because on this trip, something did happen out of the usual. We were deep into the cave at that point and had started making our way back. We'd probably been in there a couple of hours at least. My sister and I started edging across this muddy slope. Below us was a deep, deep pit. So you want 3 points of contact to be on the surface of the ground you're on at all times. It was slippery and muddy. I can't remember if it was my sister, Aisha, or me, but one of us dropped our flashlights into that hole. The diameter of the hole is like 6 feet or something. I mean, it was huge and deep. And so panic struck us, and then panic struck our dad. But he did talk us through it. We moved inch by inch, slowly scooting our way across that muddy slope and eventually out of the cave. I'm sharing this because bravery is something my dad absolutely was dedicated to teaching me and my sister. Every single weekend we were with him was some sort of lesson of overcoming fear, every time. And I think it guides me as an artist. That experience taught me there are no guarantees, that you can't learn to be brave if you aren't challenged by real fear. You can't get creative if you're not willing to step into the dark. Thankfully, we don't have to remain in the dark. We learn and grow, and our vision clears like a lamp or a light to a dark place. Art, a strange analogy, part 2. Well, my brain did it again. I woke up with this picture, vision, analogy of a brain, and that it's like roots. When you nourish your mind with good things, then good things grow. Those roots grow. But if there is something unhealthy in your mind, then don't water those roots. Just ignore it. Keep nourishing the good, wise, beautiful, and neglect totally what's not good. Don't pay it any attention, and those roots will die. I'm glad to share this with you. In my past, if I had an ugly thought, I would try to dig it up. I'd try to figure out, where did it come from? How do I get rid of it? And that's my dog again. But the truth is that it doesn't work. Just ignore it. Water whatever is good, wise, lovely, and enjoy that harvest instead. Have an incredible weekend, friends. Be safe, be loved. Ciao.